with that, let's jump over real quick because I don't want to lose the opportunity to show you guys a tip that I like to use when it comes to storytelling. So, in Jenny or Nicole, if you have a question, I'll keep an eye on the chat room. But what I wanted to do is, if you guys are friends with me on Facebook, you can go over to my April 20th post. So this post was a memory from 3 years previous. I was at an ASTA conference in Greece. I took a post-conference trip to Corfu with about 10 or 12 other travel advisors. And on my last night, when everybody else was going back into the main part of town, on the east side of our resort, I walked the opposite direction. And I walked into the part of town where the locals live. And that was the point of my post. If you can read my post, I know the font size is a little bit distorted. But basically what I wrote was, look, when I like to travel, I get away from the crowds, the places that are made for tourists, and I like to go where the locals go. And all I asked was, how about you? So this, what do I have? I think I have like 1,400 followers on Facebook. A lot of them are travel advisors. And sure enough, look at what the travel advisors started to say. You know, my friend Shannon, who lives in Nashville, I always love to experience at least one day as a local. My other friend, Maria Sheldon, yep, we try to make this a priority. And then Jackie said something very similar. But look at their statements, guys. Look at mine. Look at all of this. Final night of wandering, teenagers holding hands. I met this kid, Jamie, from Edinburgh. What a perfect ending. So here I am telling a story. And now when they responded, what did Richard do? Oh, so what's your most favorite day with locals? Can you tell me a short story? And look at what Shannon wrote. Of course, first of all, because Shannon knows me very well, something told me you were going to ask that. Yeah, that's my gig. And she talks about this one day in Rome. She's walking around with the kids. They just walk into a local coffee shop to have some coffee and eat a pastry. And it's the hustle and bustle of Italy. And I don't know how old her children were at the time because they're all grown adults now. But she said, look, my kids got to see a life like theirs in another country. And she really kind of told a neat little story there. Similarly, Maria Sheldon, I said to her the same thing. Can you tell me a story about your favorite local experience? And she's got many of them, which guess what? Means that if she can go find the photos that correspond with the events, she could now start to create social media posts about how, hey guys, it's Maria, travel advisor of blah, blah, blah. And I just want to let you know, when you book with me, I know different destinations from personal experience. And I can, if you're the kind of person who loves serendipitous moments by not always going where the tourists are, boy, have you found the right travel advisor. Let me tell you about a story when I was on an island in the Caribbean and we were doing this and doing that. And we had the local conch salad. Look at that. That's starting to come to life. Similarly, my friend Jackie Lamoth, she's down in Delaware. And Jackie, if you follow Jackie on Facebook, she is a very succinct woman. Jackie does not regularly talk in great length, and it's her style. And what I would say to Jackie, if she was my client, is come along on a journey with me of learning how to feel those stories at a deep level and let them spill back out again. Because look at what she says here. All she said was, I like a mix of unusual shops. And I totally agree with her. I on the most recent lengthy trips that I've done to Europe, one was a AMA Waterways River Cruise, and the other one was that trip to Greece. I love walking into non-chain, non-modern shops. I want to see the unusual. I want to see the local artisans and their craft. And so I said to her, please tell me about the most unusual shop experience. So look at what I'm saying, guys. Look at the words you can use in your own head. What is your most favorite day with locals? Again, most. most. When you start to use words inside your head, superlatives, not I love to travel to Caribbean destinations. It's too broad. But if I said to you, which is the most beautiful Caribbean destination you've ever been to, that focuses your brain, because believe it or not, the neurons are going to start firing off because they know where to go, and they're going to go pull that memory out of the back of your head, and they're going to bring it over here, and then it's going to come out your mouth or through your pen. That's the way the human brain works. When you use superlatives, it starts to take you to a place. And look at what she says. She was newly separated. She was on her own in Italy. She walked into a handmade mask shop in Venice and was utterly transfixed. Look at those words. Her first response, I like a mix since I really enjoy unusual shops. Now, guys, we are standing next to Jackie in a handmade mask shop in Venice. And what do you think she looks like when she says, I was utterly transfixed? She was stunned. She was overwhelmed. She couldn't pull herself away. How much easier is it to sell travel when you talk like that? If I tell you, if I print on my website, hey guys, I'm doing a trip to Venice. You're going to go shopping. You're going to do this. We're going to go to these restaurants. You're going to have 4 nights in a beautiful 4-star hotel. You know, does that really get your blood going? I mean, if you're dying to go to Venice and you only want to go with Jackie, you know what? It probably works. But if I'm scrolling on my mobile phone and I see someone saying, I was standing in this moment, and I would tell Jackie to practice this story and do it in video. Because for Jackie to tell us in 45 seconds, you know, if the opening on the video was, I was utterly transfixed. Now I want to stay with the video. What do you mean you were utterly transfixed? And maybe there's a photo of handmade Italian masks on a wall in a shop in Venice, utterly transfixed, these beautiful mask images. And now Jackie appears. That scene totally blew me away. And that's why I love to book my best clients to Venice, because I show them how to find these out of the ordinary places, down these back alleys, or whatever phrase that doesn't sound so unsafe. But guys, do you see how that story leads somebody to stop, listen, and start to find themselves in the scene? That's what I want to teach you guys. If you join the storytelling challenge that starts tomorrow, all the material is sent to you via email. What you do with it is in the Compelling Facebook, the Compelling Storytelling Facebook group. But you've got to be registered, because the lesson is a video. It's embedded in Vimeo, and I'm going to send the email out. It's going to have the lesson. And then you're going to download the Word document that's sort of your little guide to do the homework between now and whenever you post it before Wednesday of next week. Think about how you're going to learn that naturally. All of a sudden, when you're sitting there going on a Sunday night, what am I going to write on Facebook this week? I want to try to load up 5 posts. No. This young lady right here, Ms. Debbie Hudzik, she has been working on her storytelling, and I'm seeing it come to life in her emails and her social. You know, it's not I'm selling these destinations. It's I am selling an emotion that you will achieve when you let me take you to places that you may already be inclined to go, but you need me to create the emotion. That's so much different. Jackie also says here that, you know, she sends a picture of an old paper maker in Florence. Again, unusual shops. If I was Jackie, my website, when I landed at Jackie's website, would have these kinds of images, because she loves Italy. Jackie is like Ms. Italy. So I would heavy up on her homepage like that. My About Me page with Jackie, I'd be telling some of these stories saying, you know, I've fallen in love with travel because it blends the things that I like to do when I'm not traveling, like sending beautiful notes on old paper, made by artisans in Florence that reminds me of my trip. And now that beautiful letter that I sent to my mom or my sister or whatever, it's extra special. Guess what? I'm much more likely to book with you if I want to travel like you, if I want to live like you. My friend Nikki McGregor she is this outlandish, out there kind of travel advisor. She's fun, she's bold, she's brash. Her social is full of bold and brash. That's who she's attracting. People who find her funny. If you can't handle Nikki's sense of humor, you're not going to book with her. That's okay, because Nikki's building enough people who like her for who and what she is, that she's just going to build a business off of that. So as you can see, Jackie talks about the paper, and I asked her, did you bring some of the paper home and use it? And she goes, oh yeah, I restock every time I'm in Florence. Do you know of travelers who want to travel like that? Who want to shop and restock stuff that it's hard to get on Etsy or Amazon or whatever? Or frankly, why would you want to get it off of an online store when you could go meet maybe the family that's been making this paper for 400 years? I mean, let's face it, there are some of us who would rather get that close and intimate with the things that we buy. My friend Jacob Marek, who's this wonderful fella living out in South Dakota, and look at the things he remembers. Sunday family lunches, kids playing football in Cambodia, right? We're sitting in scenes. That's what storytelling is all about. It is so much more powerful when you make the decision that you're not just going to sell the features and benefits of vendors and destinations. You're going to first find what makes you excited, which makes you smile when you think of those memories. And then you're going to say to yourself, can I make money selling that? Is that, my friend Tony Day, she loves going on cruises. She is a travel advisor who books both individual trip, people going on their own, but also lots of groups. And when you see her social feed, she's cruising up until March of last year. She's cruising all over the world and having a blast. And that's why people want to travel with her, because the message she conveys is cruising is fun. Look at me. So, anybody have any questions? Anything burning on your mind? This call will always be open at 4:00. So, if in advance you want to submit a question, you can either email me, Facebook message me. There is a form. I'm going to start reminding people there's a form you can go and fill it out real quick. And then HubSpot will send me a note saying, hey, Rich, someone wants to ask this question by next Thursday. Please take advantage of me. Not always do I do something like I did this week, that I could do sort of a mini lesson like I just did. And frankly, I'd rather work on stuff that you have. The reason why I'm doing it on Zoom is so that if you want to say, hey, Rich, could you take a look? I'm going to open up my email client. I'm going to share my screen. Could you take a look at this email and rework it for me live? That's what this is for. I want you guys to start getting better. And if you find me to be a good educator, go take a look at our collections over at our Thinkific portal. And if you do buy a course, we've got a couple of other courses in there. But, I know that as much as I give to you, I will get back tenfold. I really do believe that. So these calls are just here to kind of get your juices going and get you excited about storytelling. So, Debbie, you have a question.
When we are using this method for storytelling, this just happened recently to me. Like I'm writing, I'm thinking, I'm writing, editing, trying to make it short. What can you tell us about trying not to use the word I so much? Like, I did this. Aren't I cool? Look at what
well, like, I would tell you that if I is your ideal client, why not say I? should you also be mixing in? My client, Steve and Rose, did this. Yeah, maybe substitute in we sometimes. Yeah, good point, Jenny. You know, Debbie, you took a group of people on sort of a Zen ladies trip to the Bahamas.
I did.
Do you remember scenes from their experience where they said something to you while they were having the emotion, while they were doing something that reflects the ideal client you're searching for? Somebody who appreciates, a very peaceful approach to life, is trying to recenter themselves because they're a type A, professional of some kind or whatever. I mean, you can also go find those other stories, and the storytelling challenge, that's what it does, is each of the 5 lessons points you in a direction. Hold on. One of our favorite parts.
Oh, R. Yeah. Because when people do that, then you're like, oh, they're full of themselves, right?
No, let me tell you, I know so many travel advisors who are constantly traveling and saying, look at me. There's a friend of mine. She used to be a reporter. She's also taught journalism. Camille. She lives in Brooklyn. She's an Italian retired teacher. And she is constantly posting photos and video when she's on fam trips saying, hey guys, I'm here at the Hard Rock Casino in Playa del Carmen. Hey guys, I'm taking my first Antarctic cruise. I'm finally going to have all 7 continents, right?
7.
Let's go on 5. I'm cutting out 2. I finally got my 7th continent. No, that's okay. Because the reason why they're following you is they're aspiring to be like you. Look at what you can enjoy here. Jenny, you and I are going to have to teach together. You better come join me. I love it.
Oh, that's really good, Jenny. Thank you.
So, no, it's not a problem if you're out there. I mean, you don't do it in an arrogant way, Debbie, and that's certainly not your personality. You're not, there are people out there like, I'm going to go the far extreme here. They're the Kim Kardashians of the world, where we do understand their Instagram feed is all about them. We get that. She is trying to get you to think, come live like me, because she wants you to buy her clothing, her perfume, and whatever. But you're not selling Debbie's villa in Playa del Carmen. You're selling vacation experiences so someone can feel what you feel when you're lying on the beach looking out at the Caribbean as the sun starts to rise at 5:30 in the morning and you're finishing up your yoga on the mat. You're just saying, come see what it looks and feels like, and I'll try to describe it the best I can, because I know you follow me because you're searching for the same thing. That's different. That's not arrogance.
Okay.
But Jenny's got a lot of great advice there, using more inclusive pronouns. And certainly, like I said, if you can go back through your memory about some of your clients, and even if you don't get verbatim what the quote is, most of your clients aren't going to complain if you capture what they said, in a paraphrase. That's not a problem.
Yeah. This fun thing just came to mind that I'm going to do when I leave for Mexico. And ladies, you might know this, but there is a special serum for women's eyelashes that you can buy in a pharmacy in Mexico, where in the United States you need a prescription and it's like $200, but you can buy it in Mexico. I was with a different travel advisor and she bought it, and I wish I stood with her and saw what she paid, but she said to me, I stock up on this every time I come.
And it makes your eyelashes healthier
and longer and stronger. And
is it FDA approved or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So most ladies really want nice eyelashes. So I'm going to check that out.
There you go. If that's part of your brand, do it.
And talk about that. Well, yeah, it's eyelashes, Richard. Come on, guys are wearing makeup now too. It's fine.
Not this guy. Not yet. Who knows when the wrinkles really start to come in?
Yeah, it's called Lattice, and it's
So here's what I would tell you. Do as much research in advance to understand what Lattice is, where does it come from, what kind of minerals are in it, how unique it is to Mexico. Well, that, but also to tell the story of where this comes from locally. Because just saying you can get this great product here is not as good as saying this great product can only be found in these regions of Mexico because the minerals in the ground that they use and grind up, and then this liquid that they pour in, and it's been done here for 500 years.
It's made in a lab in Johnson & Johnson. It's just cheaper.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was special to Mexico.
No, but I will do more research because I don't know much about it. And it was an idea of something that I would like to try. We all heard about it, but nobody wants to pay that big money for it.
Gotcha. Okay. Sure. I've got to jump because I do have a call to go to. You know, guys, take advantage of me. I mean, you know, my kids do. So I really do. I want to create evangelists for much better copy, much better content. And like I said, if you fall in love with what we're doing here and you do end up over in the collections and purchase a class, that's great too. Okay, I've got to make a call up to Boston to a friend. So I'm going to jump. I'm going to load this after I edit it. I'll load it up on, thank you to Nicole. I will load it up in the group over the weekend when I just, take out all the extraneous stuff that wasn't about storytelling. So, okay.
Thank you, Rich.
You bet. Talk to you all next Thursday.